Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback who grew up just outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie, Mitchell Trubisky.
When I talk with people around the league about Mitchell Trubisky when he's coming out of North Carolina, those had questions about him. They often centered in on the fact that he was only a one-year starter and wondered why he couldn't beat out the guy ahead of him beforehand. I just locked in on the athletic ability, the accuracy, and then once he got the football, how the team responded to him. I think his upside is big.
Now Trubisky on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. A big play there on the first play of the game. 72 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. This is first and goal from about the 8. On first and goal, Howard. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Here's Trubisky. His pass caught at the 4. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. Parkey with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And what really attracts people to him? A passionate leader, controls the huddle really well, controls the locker room, and also throws with anticipation and accuracy, especially evident when he throws the deep ball.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Kyle Rudolph had his 2nd Pro Bowl appearance last year when he had 8 touchdowns, just 1 off of his career high. One of the most likable, upbeat players in the league, continues to improve as a blocker, is one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the league. One of the guys that the Vikings like to build around for the future.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And an alley to run. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Trubisky with the give to Howard. A great move in there, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Toward the sideline, he will have the 1st down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey adds the extra point, and it's now 14-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Here comes Sherrills. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First down. Here's Cousins. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. The starting 11 defensively for the Bears.
Second-round pick in 2015, Eddie Goldman holds down the middle of this defensive line with some toughness, some leverage, and some personality. Understands he's going to be double and sometimes triple teamed on every snap. Does it with a smile, takes on those blockers, and opens up space for his other pass rushers.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cook. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge. The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. Fielded just inside the 20. A little juke. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bears take over. Onto the field now come the Bears. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep is Marcus Sherrills. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you've got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he's able to find Diggs. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Vikings 1st down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. A first down throw for Cousins. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And not much running room. Down to the 32. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Man, it's a tough area in the field to try and run a draw play out of the gun. You know you're going to face a good push up front, and here they swallow him up for no gain.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Now Cousins. And he finds Cook. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They come up in an offset eye. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
Ball start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
The situation changes a bit now. 1st and goal from back at the 10. Following the penalty, it's Murray. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. From the gun, here's Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jonathan Bullard able to get in and run him down for what will be a loss of 15 yards.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins now. That's complete to Robinson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 13 yards on the connection, but not enough. 4th down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. And a nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. That will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Trubisky now off the bootleg. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Trubisky now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction that starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look, and now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here, but the play is actually happening over there, and that's where running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed. And that's exactly what he did on that play.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And fighting down inside the 25. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And down inside the 15 he goes. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Linval Joseph able to get him for a loss of about 3.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Bears will extend their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Handoff comes to Cook, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Throwing is Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Here's Matt Wild now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now it's Trubisky. Incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Trubisky. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that's incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here's Sherrills. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Finding some room at midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a play fake here on first down. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Throw left side taken in by Miller. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
They go play action here on first down. Dancing to his left. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Let's go, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
One advantage having a elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On first, they go right back to Howard. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. Now Trubisky to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Now a stoppage, and oh boy, we've got Trubisky shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Latavius Murray getting set to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. First down, here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A give. This is Cook. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Matt Wild now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start things on 1st with Torrey Cohen. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. A give to Howard. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out leveraging the offense.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Sherrills to return it. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. To throw is Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun. Cousins to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go with Howard to begin the drive. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Trubisky. He leaves this one for Howard. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Bears on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. The Bears on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 2. Throwing here, Trubisky. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13 and also a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now Trubisky on first down. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Let's go, let's go.
So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this 3rd quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Starting the 3rd quarter with Cook. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down, Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Cousins now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's Matt Wild now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 20. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Trubisky. And running with power here. And this is Gabriel on the catch. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Trubisky will come up here 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Trubisky to throw again. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Burton. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 6 there on first.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. He's got the size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Take it at the 37. Look at the spin.
Balance.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They go play action with Trubisky. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Trubisky now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Trying to get it to Tariq Cohen out of the backfield. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now Howard. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd down and 12. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away, now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now a run with Cook. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Cousins now on second down. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 15 yards through the air on a first down.
Hey, did you have one of those backyards that you had one of those, like, mats or pits like you have for high jumpers? And, you know, you had your friends throw the ball and you tried to make the spectacular catches?
I didn't need a mat.
you just did it with the ground?
Absolutely.
That explains your
concrete.
Toughness. That explains your toughness right there, because I think that guy was raised just like you. What a catch.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep for Diggs. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, 51 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. On first down, Murray. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Cousins now. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. A solid first half for him, and so far a good start to the second half.
And I'm going to try not to go overboard with praise here, but I can't help it. He is playing so well, really accurate with the ball, finding guys open downfield, and finding the end zone 3 times. That'll help offset the one interception.
Absolutely, just that one pick with the 3 touchdowns so far. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 21. After the interception, here's Trubisky. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
And he's certainly been a huge factor in this. When he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit, now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, pick them up. And someone jumped.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Chicago 1st down, the former Jag Allen Robinson on the catch from Trubisky.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now it's Trubisky. And it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run with Howard. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Trubisky now off the bootleg. And that is incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, That's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
Cousins now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Cousins now from the 50. His throw incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. And it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. Give him 7 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They'll throw again. Cousins wiggles free. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the 1st down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the 1st down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First down. Here's Cousins. And complete. Right side, the tight end, Rudolph. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To the air again, it's Cousins. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Cousins again. And a quick throw here that's complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Again, it's Cook. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Now Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they'll get this down to the 10. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Aldrick Robinson from 10 yards out. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a two-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. They go play action here on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. And that's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. Third down here.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Anthony Barr able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It's taken to the 26. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And now out comes Minnesota. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 40. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Cousins on 1st down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Throwing, Cousins. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than 1 tackler to the ball. He broke the 1st tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
False start, offense.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's caught by Treadwell. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He'll get it up the middle. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
3rd and goal for Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
But now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 23. After the interception, here's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel, 77 yards. And the Bears will add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. any part of it that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Second down, Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. 10 more there and another 1st down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores, want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
From the red zone now, Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Aldrick Robinson, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And they got the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Again, it's Howard. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Third and 2. Now Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this one's not close. Not even close. Short and to the right. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And some time here to focus on Kyle Rudolph as he heads back out there. And look at the numbers. They have gotten him more involved. I guess the question now, Charles, defensively, how do you make him less involved?
That's always a key question, isn't it? Sometimes other guys are starting to play really well, and you shift your attention to them. You got to make sure you got full focus on him because he's so good that if you don't, he finds a way to make plays. Always have two guys in his vicinity, usually trying to bump him off the line of scrimmage and get him out of his route.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. Room to run past midfield. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. To throw, Cousins. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, it's Cousins. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it looks like the Bears are going to win the football game. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.